have a really extravagant turn signal system in the back. I used a truck turn signal. Maybe I'll pop some video in here. Yeah. Hello, YouTube. I'm going to do a quick side quest. Huey, my 1967 VW Type 3 Squareback, or variant, has not liked this cold snap. And since the panel bug is in its parking spot, he doesn't like me right now. So, Huey needs to be tuned up. So I gave him an oil change the other day because he was leaking oil like a sieve. Come to find out, the breather hose that runs to this part from the fill valve lost its hose clamp. And so when he was, rumbling around and driving around up and down hills and all that stuff, oil was coming out of there and just spraying across the bottom of the engine. So I was actually so low on oil that the oil light came on. And it very rarely ever comes on in this car because I do a oil change every 1,500 miles, like clockwork, because I figure it's not expensive, and the fact that these cars are oil cooled, or they say air cooled, but oil cooled, might as well just have some good oil in them. That being said, I also think I have a stuck float in this carb, so I think it's time to fix that. I don't think it gets stuck all the time. I think it just gets stuck when it sits for a bit, or maybe it's just not closing all the way, because my driveway is a slight incline, and I think that incline is showing its face. I'm going to pinch off this guy. Not my gloves. Okay, now... I'd take just the top of it off, but I'm afraid if I take just the top off, I won't be able to tell if it's doing its thing. So I think I might just take the right part off, the whole thing off. Oh, hey, there we go. Now I can see. I once lost the little nut on the end here to the throttle arm, and it started spitting and sputtering on the one side, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I got out of the car and I looked, and the nut was gone. So I zip tied it, which you might still be able to see here. That's my backup. I zip tied it on to get home, because I carry zip ties in my toolbox, and when I got home later that day, I looked and the nut had fallen underneath in the little cooling tin and was just peeking out the little corner. And I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. That's cool. Because I wasn't able to, I hadn't figured out what size nut that was yet, and I was frustrated because I'm like, now I got to figure out how to get that size nut on an MPE Pick 34 and blah, blah, blah. So you might see, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, see, I got pegboard down here to cover up underneath the... just some scrap material I had to give it a little bit more of a surface so that I wasn't setting stuff directly onto here. And then when I bought the carpet kit, I left it in there. I just needed something protection, right? Well, it works really great for putting the little screws in. So I'm removing the linkage. There's a little tab on here that always likes to make a run for it. So this little tab that holds the spring on likes to always make a run for it on me. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. It's just, a bugger to get out of the tiny crevice that it falls in. Okay. And this guy, try not to pump too much gas in there. Spring. Oh, return spring. And And don't adjust your screw while you're doing this, because you don't want to change your... I do not want to have to sit here and rebalance. Okay, well apparently my battery wanted to die there, so let's get back to this. Now I'm not going to do a step-by-step how-to. This is just me learning as I go. I've taken this thing apart a bunch of times, I've cleaned it a bunch of times, but on the flip side, I still don't 100% know everything. Like, who does? So the idea is, I'm going to do some exploratory discombobulation. And once that exploratory discombobulation finds out what's wrong, that's when I fix it. I really hope it's not a bad float, because it's a brand new one, basically. Only got 2,000 miles on it. I put 5,000 miles on the engine since the rebuild back in November of 2021. Apple Garage, Steven, helped me with the rebuild. He'd swing by every few days and help me go in the right direction from the manual, double check my specs, check the torques. He helped me torque down the rear nut, or bolt, I mean, that was a scary one for me. I was like, if I get this wrong, we're going to have some major issues going down the road. Literally. So, I need to get an ultrasonic cleaner. I'd love to run both of these things through an ultrasonic, but I haven't got my hands on one yet. I haven't done enough of this to need one. It's more of a want. Okay. Let's see what this says here. I'd like to keep a... drain this gas back on. I always like to keep a glass jar on hand, because I don't like this gas just going everywhere. I'm going to get rid of this little guy right here. And try not to bend my float in there, because it definitely does not like to be bent. Okay. Of course. So my idea is to dry it off, give it a squeeze, and see if it gets wet. It gets wet somewhere, that's where the hole is, and that means it's sinking. It is not getting wet anywhere. Okay. Mainly not simple these things are, but it's how complex they are. Yeah. There's no real sediment down here. That's always a good thing. So my float's good. Yeah! Got these carb rebuild kits. I bought 3 of them so far, combined them to 2. The third one did not come with a float. So, I think I'm going to replace that. Let's see what we find in here. I've never been in this part. Only ever seen pictures. Knew there was a spring, did not want to jump out at me. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. It's not destroyed anyway. Actually looks almost brand new. There, see? This metal part does. The rubber's a little worse for wear. The spring, there's gas in there. Of course there's gas in there. There's got to be gas in there, right? It's a pump. Pokey pokey. tuck that in there and get that gas out. Okay. So I guess this would be like the little heart. This is the little heart of the heart. Little pumper. The rebuild kit's got a smaller spring, so I think I'll use the same spring so I can balance them right. And then let's see about getting that guy out. Oh yeah. Nice. So there was, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is signs of the rubber degraded. Right about there. There were signs that the rubber is messed up. And over here, which is the bottom of the bowl, right? So maybe that means that the thing wanted to leak. Okay. Let's get this going here. I'm afraid of like hitting it with anything harsh, like an abrasive, because you know that might be a poor choice of options here. Oh yeah, there was definitely a, yeah, I can feel it with my fingernail. Yep. Okay, so then we take this little guy right here, and it doesn't matter which way these go up, does it? Nope. Okay, not to my knowledge. Upside down, Jason. Yeah, because this goes in here. Aha! Wake up, Jason. I mean, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. You'd think I'd be awake by now. Should probably clean this off, too. So this guy goes there. Put that little... Ooh, don't run off on me now. That little guy right there is pushing it off kilter. See, well, if I push it so that it lines up, it bends. See? So we're just going to nick the corner real quick. As long as I don't cut into that hole, I think I should be safe. I'm just going to give a little bitty nip. Ooh, hey now. That was fun. Oh, much better. Okay. Going overtime. Alrighty then. Oops. Okay. So there's a cotter pin here. A very specific way that this guy goes in here. This has a tooth on it. And I guess I should have put that in first. Flip it over. There we go. So it's a one-way keyhole. Can only go in and out one way. So as soon as you flip it over, the keyhole's opposite now. Lobby. Wonder what that does. Wonder what that does. Do the typey thing down below and tell me on a, this is an MP pick 34. That bladder goes right there, but I don't have it. It's obviously some sort of a bladder for a valve. Do the little typey thing below and tell me what that's for. I'd like to know. Not that I'm going to add it or anything, but I just realized that. It only goes on one way because it's keyed. So I know that one. Then the spacer. Then all the mechanical stuff over there. And these are the two holes that the linkage arm goes onto. Okay, well I hope my camera doesn't want to freak out the focus on this because I couldn't get it lined up. Okay, so... removing the safety barrier. Ah, scary, 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 scary. Not scary. Oh, maybe scary. Still scary. Still scary. Okay, not scary. Woo! Still scary. Okay. Gonna grab this little doodad. Grab the spacer. Oh, you know what I probably should do is get these guys on here real quick. Hang on. Washers. Nuts. Okay, that does that, that does that, that does that. Now I gotta reassemble the arm. Linkage arm. There's a little grease in here and a spring. See if you can see that? There's a little grease in there and a spring. Don't lose that spring because, you know, I will tell you, it's not fun to do. There's a little keyway on there telling me exactly where this needs to go. Well, now I'm confused. Why is it not closing like it should? It is way off from its kilter. I also realized I forgot to put the spring pin in. Ah, great. Okay, well that's one problem at a time. Yeah, you're level. You're not. You're 5 miles off. What did I do? How in the frick? The valve open? Oh, haha! Okay, that makes sense. I found the boo-boo. So confused. Pop the spring right out in the arm. That arm popped right out. No wonder I can't get the thing to balance. Okay, let's try this again. Now that I see my problem, always look around, I guess. Oops. Okay. Guess I can just put the filter back on. That makes total sense why this thing doesn't act like it's supposed to. It's fighting against not being able to move over there. Alrighty then. I'll put the spring arm on too. Wah wah wah. Reassemble one side, then fight with the other. That makes total sense now. Oh yeah, that already feels better. Haha. It's like so confused. Don't lose the spring. Put that guy in there. Make sure that guy stays on. Put it on the keyway. Oh, would you look at that? And magically like that, everything lines up again. What? Wow. Okay, now I'll put this little key guy on. He goes the upswing. And then the spring goes on there. Clickety click. And this is that one where I lost the screw, so I'm putting the thing in there. Alex, you're making noises during my car video. Alex has the beautiful trifecta. He lives in upstate New York. Trifecta of the Type 3s. He has all three Type 3s, as I say. He's got the beautiful trifecta. I'll put a link to his Instagram below. He's got what I would love to have: the notch, the fastback, and the squareback. I was introduced to him via text by another friend of mine. Why don't you catch David? And we're all in a little chat group helping each other out and just chatting for Type 3 stuff. So every now and then, whenever you hear my phone go off, it's probably one of them texting in the group chat. So Alex, you're making some noises. I hear you. I'll look at it later. Okay, now hook the springy thingy one way, because it goes on the same way on both springy thingies. Might need a pair of pliers, who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. Hey, there we go. Okay, the bottom's the hard part. Top's the easy one. And return spring. Yay. Okay. Quick. Yes. Hear my pedal flip-flopping around. That's funny. Okay, now, like I always like to do I have any spare parts? I do not. Okay. That's a good sign. Okay. Let's get some gas. Get my handy dandy screwdriver. Flip it flat because that is the wrong size Phillips for that. There we go. There we go. Okay. That should do it. Okay. Probably noticed all the wires. I have a really extravagant turn signal system in the back. I used a truck turn signal. Maybe I'll pop some video in here. Yeah. Okay. I think he's going to need some fuel in him, to fill the bowl, but it's an electric pump, so shouldn't take too much effort. And then, of course, it stinks up the garage, and the wife's like, now you're stinking up the kitchen because the garage is off from the kitchen. And what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Okay. Let's see if this all works out. Okay. Let's see if it starts and runs fine. Oh, yeah, I forgot to check. Did it leak any? So I just took a lunch break. Let's see if it leaked. It did not. Although this garage is perfectly level, so I don't expect it to here. It's the hillside that's going to leak on. Sound good. Well, I guess I gotta balance this stupid carb. I think we're good. Oh, there we have it. Huey got a tune-up on the one carb. The other one looks perfectly fine. I think part of my problem was that it was hot, cold, hot, cold. I mean, like 2 degrees one day and 50 the next. So that definitely didn't help the engine. I think it's probably in my near future that I'm going to remove the whole engine and then retorque the whole thing. Yeah, so I just drove around the block a couple of times. I did not record because I completely forgot. I went and got gas because, you know, the tank was a little low. So I will see if this solves the problem. Look forward to more of the side quest videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more on the Keffer van. It's in the back there. And I hope you guys all have a great week.